wanted to give you an update on my native plant garden for Colorado native plants. I put all these plants in April, and now it is the first week of July, and I just wanted to give you an update. So sometimes when we buy stuff at the store, we don't really know what it's going to look like. So this is some of these plants as they've been putting down roots and starting flowers. So I'm just going to take a little walk around the garden and show you all these different plants that we have. Give you their common name, at least what I found in the nurseries, as well as Latins if I have available, and you can see what they might look like. So I'm going to start over here. This is a big blue stem grass. So this one's really taking off, and they will get 3 feet tall. These are all dwarf lead plants. They just finished flowering. It's hard to see. They had a little red flower that the bees enjoyed. So those are some lead plants. This is a Colorado plant called a gold gazania, and it has yellow flowers there that it flowered a few. I wonder if it might flower some more. So it was flowering in June. These are called liatris. These are all, there's several varieties of liatris. They are also called gay feathers. You might see that. And as you can see, they are getting ready to flower, but they haven't flowered yet. So I think these will be July bloomers. Here's a little High Plains flowering plant that I got. You can see it's called skullcap, Smoky Hill skullcap. These are evening primroses. Sorry, I'm going to try and get out of the sun. So you'll see as I walk around my garden, I have 3 of these, and they are all different sizes, though they were all the same size when I got them. So it just shows you that sometimes, there's one, sometimes things grow at a different rate. Who knows why? This is a Rocky Mountain penstemon. It just finished flowering, so it's more of a June bloomer. These Gallarda Arizona Sun, also called blanket flowers, they seem to be flowering continuously, so they'll finish and then they'll grow new ones, so a bit like a daisy. The moonshine yarrows have been flowering since early June, and they're still flowering. And it's so funny here, I'm going to show you that's tagged. He has a big hole in it. I had a really big hailstorm just a few days ago, and all of these plants did fine. My garden, toast. But all these Colorado native plants just shook that hail off. So this is another kind of penstemon. So you can see these different varieties. This is a red rocks. The bees enjoy it. This is a daisy that is not actually a native. I didn't quite mean to buy it. It just sort of found its way home. So this primrose is huge compared to the other one. These are, I have several of these as we walk around them. Prairie cone flowers, also called Mexican hat. The Latin name is in the Rhodobita family. So I have some yellow ones and some brown ones. This is called a buckwheat, also called a sulfur flower. It has a few different names. And mine didn't flower this year. I have seen, I think they're putting their roots down, but I've seen some other plants around the neighborhood that have flowered. This is a Silverton blue mat penstemon. I don't think that it's gonna do great in my yard. It might be too sunny or too hot. So just as a word of caution, the beard tongues seem to be doing better for me than the mat style penstemons. Here is another beard. It's called a Jingle Bells beard tongue, and you can see it has some really pretty peach flowers. And then I'm gonna walk around with you guys into my shade garden. A lot of my plants in my shade garden are not Colorado natives because there aren't a ton of options. But I do have several columbines. They have finished flowering for the year. And then I also have, these are called kinnikinics, and they're spreading ground cover. They did have some small flowers early in the spring. Another good shade plants. You can see my super fun sitting area that we created in the shady spot. We got a little pond here. It's really nice to sit here in the shade. So back to Colorado native shade plants. This is a western snowberry. And then these are creeping mahonias, and also called Oregon grape polly. And you can see that they have made some berries that will stay there through the winter. Definitely seen birds eating those. Western snowberry again. And here's another kinnikinick. I had some troubles with getting some of my plants established in this end of my yard. I don't think the soil is great here, but then some have been doing fine. So here is, it's called a Carolyn's Hope penstemon. So they're all in the penstemon family. That is their Latin name as far as I can tell. See, penstemon mexicali. These little guys are called wine cups, also called poppy mallow. You can see on the Latin name in Calro, but you'll see them either as poppy mallow or wine cups, and they're a ground cover that's spreading. Here's another penstemon. So you can see that these penstemons have some height to them, so I think they're gonna make a really nice ground cover or a bush to then have with these lower ground cover. The sulfur flower, the buckwheat, the wine cups are low to the ground, and these will add some volume. And then I'm gonna come over here to some of my perennials. So this is a fringe sage that is, I think it's gotten almost too much water because we've had a really wet spring. It's sort of fallen over. I have another one that's a little bit more upright. Here is a blue stem. Here is a prairie coneflower getting ready to flower. You can see those. There's another lead plant. This is a rabbit grass filling in. Coming over here, another moonshine yarrow, silver sage, western sage, some more penstemons. These are finishing blooming. You can see they've been starting to go to pod. This is a really big liatris getting ready to flower, another blue stem. So coming around here, and I mirrored these. So this is my front entrance, so that's why I have kind of the same thing on both sides. Here's a fringe sage that is not flopped over. It's a little bit more compact. I think this is a little more what they're supposed to look like. This is another kind of like a matte penstemon, and I just don't know that these are great for where I am. This one's doing a little better than the other one, but sometimes that's, when you plant a garden, you got to figure out what works for your soil conditions. It's a fun prairie coneflower. Here's a hen and chick that went crazy. You can see there's a bee flying around, flowering on, eating the flowers. Here is a silver sage and a really big rabbit grass. So we move around. Hen and chicks aren't native to Colorado, but aren't they fun? I love them. So we just had to put a couple in. Just wanted to wrap up with a few more plants over here. This is a manzanita. That'll be a bush. And then this one is one of my favorites. It's called an Apache plume. It's a little wild, like it kind of goes all over the place, but it has little white flowers that then turn into these cute little puffs. Aren't those adorable? So I really am glad that we put that in the garden. Here is a blue stem, and then these are Sioux Indian grass. I actually have them all labeled here on my stick. So this is Alright, you can't really see that. So this is a Sioux Indian grass, and this is a blue stem grass. And then my one milkweed that I could find at the store. These are hard to find. This is a butterfly milkweed. It will have these orange flowers very soon. And one more fringe sage, some wine cups. So yeah, that's my garden as it comes along. This is July 3rd. So that's just where we are this year. If you guys have any questions about any of these plants, if you're curious about creating a Colorado native garden, check out my other video on how to get all these planted, how to select them. Be sure to subscribe to my page because I will be posting more pictures. And my last thing I wanted to share, I've left this out to chat with you. So you're not supposed to put weed fabric down per all the research I've done, because a lot of these are self-seeding plants. So if you have weed fabric, it's going to prevent that. But that means you end up with a lot of weeds. So this is the tool to use. So you use this, I'll show you. So you use it in the gravel and it'll just cut the weeds right out from the base. It goes down a couple inches into the gravel. And you do that once a week and you stay ahead of your weeds. So thanks so much, guys and gals. Happy planting and enjoy your day.